meeting is being live streamed.
Okay, I think we are there. I see us. Okay. What a mess. Okay.
It's a fun mess.
All right. You're still a little slow over there on us, but okay, everybody, we are back. We are doing our midlife girl chat with Darlene. We're hoping things going to work because things have kind of been a little iffy here. I think the technology gods are upon us tonight and not agreeing with us. So I am going to go ahead and let Darlene introduce herself and what she does. And I'm really hoping this works. So go for it.
So what I do, I support people who are feeling overwhelmed in their lives with techniques. It starts with energy healing and being aware of your energy. And so people who are really stressing out with something in their life, whether they're a caregiver or family situations, like stress is really high. I teach people, first of all, how to calm and relax if they're already in that state. And then I teach them how to reset and then how to prepare so they don't get caught up again in that same, heightened level of stress where they find themselves too overwhelmed to do anything about it. And I call it the art of energetic awareness, because once you calm yourself down, you get your nervous system, your vagus nerve all calm and soothed. You can then start preparing for life differently, more effectively, by being aware of your energy, where it's going, who you're giving it to. I do that with doing Reiki energy healings, mentoring people through stress, and Qigong, which I'm now learning to become. I'm getting certified as a Qigong teacher. So putting all of that together, I help people with stress and animals.
Nice. I got an animal that probably needs help with stress, but he did not deal well once I went back to work after COVID. And so
yeah, they get, just like kids, just like adults, they get used to a situation. And I always tell people, I was also a preschool teacher for 25 years. So when I work with animals, there's this similarity. So when you're having to change your life, some people forget that they're animals. They are like children, and they can understand you if you start helping to prepare them ahead of time, just like you would a child. Yeah. Or like right now I help my mom. I'm a caregiver. She's 89. So the same thing, how can you prepare people who are a little unstable or animals or that tend to run high anxiety? How can you help them and prepare them for changes? I do that too.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I've been back to work for maybe 2 years now.
Yeah.
In the office. And so for a couple of years, I mean, this is where we would sit working every day, and he'd lay right down beside me here. And I would come home from work and my house would just be torn apart. Like he totally freaked out. It was
Yep, separation anxiety. Yep.
I never expected it from him. I just never expected it. So we have to plan ahead and make sure things are the right way when we leave, and he doesn't. So otherwise I come home and it's a mess. So, but I'm like, what you do with dealing with stress, because I know here in midlife, when the estrogen, progesterone are going down, that cortisol takes over. I just look at how, way to deal with COVID in midlife. But just how I've dealt with things at work for the past few years and with my children in school. And if I had known how to like bring myself out of that state, I think my midlife journey would have been a little bit easier than
That,
it.
yeah, right. Because that's the thing about energetic awareness. You have that preparation for those stressful times.
Mhm.
Um, and most people have never heard of it. And even if I talk to people about it, they'll say, oh no, I don't have the time for that. I have to, I have this responsibility. My business is my, my main focus. And my answer is, well, the time spent trying to get out of the stress or finding ways to calm that cortisol down, because then it's going to, cause weight gain and headaches and on and on and on. It can eventually turn into autoimmune disease if your stress gets out of hand. So I tell people, if you're not sure what energetic awareness is, and you're headed towards, either midlife, menopause, or, there are family situations that are coming up,
Mhm.
it's worth your investigation. It's worth your health in the long run, because really, I in my experience, energy is where it all starts. And if you
Oh
can
yeah.
nip it in the bud at the energetic level before it happens, you've got it made. I'm dealing with mom with dementia, and I know how to prepare myself every morning,
Okay.
and it's such a help. It really is.
And why would you
Um,
not want to prepare or like know how to deal with this? Because when you crash and burn in the end, it's going to be worse than and take longer than if you
right.
like.
Well, think about what our culture does. They look for answers that are instant, which would often be, not that I'm not putting down medication at all, but oftentimes if people find themselves already in that state, that's what will be recommended to them.
Mm,
And my job, my life purpose is to help people prevent themselves from even getting to that state. But if they are, and you are, choosing more of a medical relief, you're also going to have to get to the core of what's causing the stress.
mhm.
And it might not even be the situation that you're going through in the moment. It could be something that is like a pattern, or something that is reminding your body of something that happened when you were a kid. So that's
Yeah.
why it's so important to get to the energetic stuff,
Mhm.
because then you can stop the pattern, and you might, and find easier ways to resolve your anxiety and your stress, especially while in menopause, when you're already when the hormones are already all over.
We're
Yeah.
on the roller coaster there.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it is so funny when you talk about like the root cause and where it came from. I just look at some of the stuff, like I've been doing a lot of inner work, like timeline type of stuff. And it's crazy where I have found some of my stuff has come from. You
It
know?
really is. It's like, but the body remembers and stores it,
And the
like,
generational thing, it was crazy. The other night I did a sound healing. Oh my God, that was like so awesome. But she kept saying, like, on my throat chakra, she's like, there's a weight or on my shoulders or, on the back of the, and we found something. She was down like on the root chakra, cleansing that. And she's like, I found this generational, and I like my great grandma just like popped into my head just like that. I know. And
wow,
I was like, whoa, that was crazy.
that
And
is so beautiful.
I know. And I said, and I can't remember how it was come out, but I was like, she was adopted. And she's like, right there's the shoulder thing. It's been on her shoulders, the weight on her shoulders, because she was looking for her mom. She was abandoned type of thing. And I'm getting little chills like talking about this. But it was just kind of funny when she's like, let's bring in your grandma. I just felt her just like I felt it. And it just like I cried, like I cried. some of the other crap that we were dealing with, like, didn't even faze me, which usually I cry over everything. But that one, it was just, it hit me. And I'm like, holy cow, my poor great grandma, you know?
And yeah, and it can be a beautiful experience. That'll be something you'll never forget.
Mm,
Yeah.
no.
And going the quick traditional route right now, where that doctors tend to take their people on, you don't get to have those experiences. And they'll actually stay in your body if you don't find them, and have them escort them to a healthier place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I did a lot of energy work even before I started doing counseling. She's like, you did all my work for me before we got started.
That's
She's like,
beautiful.
yeah, she's like, there's probably things that we wouldn't have even figured out if you hadn't done the things that you did too.
Right. You brought to the session so much information. Yeah. A lot of my clients are Reiki students, are therapists.
Okay.
And, oh my gosh, they're my like some of my favorite clients, besides the horses and the dogs and the cats. But um, because when they come for energy work for themselves, they can then show up. And this is for anybody. When you do the energy work for yourself, you clear away any like disturbances or anything that's holding you back or keeping you sad. You clear that out of the way, so everyone in your life benefits when you take care of your energy. Everybody. And if you're someone like a therapist and you're doing your own energy work, of course your clients will benefit from that too. Or a mother, or like whoever the person is, everyone around you, your animals. And that's where my work is going to be going next, is having people take real notice of their energies, because it's affecting their pets, and that bond that humans like to have with their animals. Right. Animals are a reflection of what's going on in our energy. Yeah. And their behavior shows us something that's going on for us.
My poor old doggy.
How old is your dog?
He will be 13 in about 6 weeks. So
yeah,
he's beating the door down now. He wants to, I don't know which way. I think he's outside. But he just, yeah.
The anxiety increases too as they get older. They have more sensitivities, and more awareness of energies, and they become more susceptible to change. Yeah. Anxiety from change. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we had a lot of changes happen in our house even just before COVID happened. Probably, yeah. Because my oldest graduated, 2 years. My oldest graduated in 2018 and went to the Marine Corps in the end of June of 2018. And then my husband left here in 2019. So it was kind of like life was already kind of discombobulated in here. And then, this happened and we were home all the time with him, and all of a sudden everybody just ditched him. Yeah, poor boy, no wonder he had issues.
Yeah. Yep. Does he like you to pet him? Does he like to be petted? Yeah.
He's friends with everybody in the neighborhood.
Oh, I love that. There is a really cool for a calming technique for especially dogs, not necessarily cats, because they don't always like the petting. With dogs, you just take them when they're feeling anxious, or actually anytime, because if they run anxious frequently, it means their nervous system needs to be reset. So if you just take and you go from like his head all the way down to his tushy, and you just pet him, it's like a little bit more than a pet, and you just stroke him like that for a minute or so in that place, and then you go to another spot and you do the same thing. And what you're doing is you're regulating his nervous system by petting and soothing the fascia in his body.
Okay.
So similar to a massage, but this is much more gentle and you're not manipulating anything. And this just calms and soothes their energy. See if that works. He might like that.
I know. I don't know if we could have gotten him. This winter was rough, and I don't know if it was he loves to be outside, but
Yeah,
he just he would start in about 6, 7 o'clock at night until about midnight, and he would pace. He would like pace the inside of the house, go outside, pace the edge of the yard, come in, and it just was continual and trying to get him to slow down, and he just would be panting, and you could tell he was like
stressing
anxious.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
And
is he still doing that?
no, I got me a nice homeopathic remedy that I stick on his meal every night. Because I
Excellent.
like, and he's so happy being outside all day now too, now that he can stay outside. But
Oh, that's wonderful news. Yay.
yeah, no, I was telling my naturopath about it, and she's like, here, try this stuff. And it calms him right down. And so I'm like,
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, because we had a couple months of not good. So
And that hurts our heart,
I know,
and our animals are unhappy and we
I
can't
know.
always know what they need. Oh, yay. I'm so glad he feels better.
Yeah, yep, yep. He can sit outside, and the UPS man he comes down our street specifically. We have a short little driveway in town, and he'll go sit at the end of the driveway. UPS guy will pull down the street just to stop and get out and give him treats. And was home the other day, and these girls were walking down the street, and they come down our little side street, and they were talking to him, and then they turn and go back down to the main road. And I was like, dude's got like friends everywhere, and people like come to just visit him. He loves ya. Well,
That's
we're
wonderful.
kind of on my dog here, but so tell me like some of the ways you work with somebody if they're in one of these situations where they're just because I know I've been there, I've done that, and I've crashed and burned, and boy, I wish I would have known then that how to get myself regulated so I could deal with pubescent teenage boys when I was going through perimenopause.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. So what I have found, and well, the thing is, not there's not one answer for everybody.
Right.
So when I get on a call with my clients, it's a one-on-one, and we tap into the situation they're experiencing, and I tune into and tap into the energies of what it is that that particular person is requiring. So, for instance, one person might need to do some breath work, or I would give them a meditation or some Qigong sequences to move through. Another person, I might hear, you need to go for a run or a swim, or
Oh,
go jogging down the street. Go put your feet in the sand if you can get near the beach. So
mm.
yeah, me too. Each person, each individual will have a different plan that they'll need to tap into. And that same person, depending on their situation, it would need something different the next time. So where I come in with the doing like private programs with people and energy training with people is I show them how to find out what it is they need so they don't have to call me every time there's a situation, because I mean, this world is about us all empowering ourselves, not always having to reach out to someone
Right.
else who,
Yeah.
I do get those phone calls, and some of the situations are pretty stressful. So, we've all been there, and that's beautiful. But really, my main goal is to teach people once I get them to, we reset the nervous system, we get them to do some calming, some Qigong movements, grounding exercises. Once we get them to reset and they're in that centered space, then we look at a daily routine.
Mhm.
What can you do every single day so that your body is feeling and experiencing this grounded feeling? So every day your body will start that way. And when stressful situations show up, you'll be in this grounded, centered space. And that's why a day, like, no matter what someone is going through, my first answer, well, I have two answers. One answer is to get outside. And if you can, take your shoes off. And the other one is just make sure you have a daily routine so that you're not just handling stress in your life, you're creating a stress-less life. If you've got a daily routine going on, something that you're committed to, and this is, what are your non-negotiables for yourself every morning? And it can be as simple as humming while you're brushing your teeth. People think it has to be a big deal, a daily routine. It really doesn't. Little things gets your body, your nervous system to calm and relax, like humming while you're brushing your teeth for 5 or 10 minutes. That's really all or it's a great place to start if someone's not sure what that would look like. Start simple, start with 5 minutes, and then you might enjoy that so much once you start to see the results of being less reactive to life. When you have this daily routine, your body's starting out grounded. And when things start coming at you, you're already in that grounded place. You're like, okay, how are we going to approach this, rather than, oh shit, because your body and your energy are already stationed. That's the word I'm hearing. You're stationed in your essence. You're stationed in your confidence before any of the stress happens.
Right.
So what I do with people is I work on helping them to create a daily routine. That's my answer to pretty much everything.
Okay, awesome. And I know, what do I want to say? Sorry, I'm like, my dog is pounding on the door, so I'm just trying to send my son a text, like, get the dog before he freaks out. And they did this last week too, and I said, get the dog, and then he gave him his treat, which I'd already given him his treat, so dog got double duty that night.
Oh boy.
That's like one of the things as like the gut health practitioner I talk about is, we have those stored energies that affect us, that we have those outside stressors that affect us and can affect the health of our gut, but the health of our gut affects how we deal with the stress too. And that's always,
yeah.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand, right? So the stress causes the stomach problems. And then having stomach problems causes stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, a lot of people will say the gut is another brain. We have two brains in our bodies. And if your stomach is upset, there's a lot of information you can't receive.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like tuning into yourself energetically. Our gut, your gut feeling, what is your gut saying? Well, if you're all stressed out and your gut is all twisted up, you won't necessarily be able to tap into your intuition. Yeah.
And
so what do you have people do for their gut health? Like
so we talk about stress, dealing with your stress. I have a mini program that I got from somebody that we can use, talking about ways to deal with stress. I love to talk about dealing like this, the energy work, doing that inner energy work, and, connecting them with the person that can help, whether it's the emotion codes or the sound healing or breath work or whatever place we need to go to work on that, because some of those negative energies hang in the gut. And so you can't heal your gut if you're not getting rid of that negative energy that's sitting down there and hanging on to it. So,
Right. So, oh, it's interesting. One of the issues,
uh-oh, we lost you. Oh no. And we were in a good conversation here. She disappeared. We know we've had, oops, we're going to try and see if we can't get her back here.
hi, that
Hi.
fell off.
I know. I was like, you said one of the things, and I was like, and then you disappeared. It's like,
So what I was saying was environmental stress.
oh yeah.
So that can mean so many things. It's who's in your environment and what's in your environment. So it's chemical and it's relationships. And that that totally ties up the gut into a million different places. So that's why I eat only organic, and I try to be vegan. Definitely organic foods and
Right. Well, it looks like our internet is just not working well here tonight. Oh, did we get you back again? It's just one of
I guess that's a sign.
right? Well,
It
I
must be a sign.
find that, yeah. I'm thinking we are probably gonna just like, I don't know here. Oh, we got you back. Well,
So
so
funny.
you're talking about doing like eating the organic, and that's the whole deal too, is I like to talk about is toxins that are in our food that is causing some of that stress in our bodies, and the
Yeah.
organic, but plastic and the things I've learned over the past couple of years about even just plastic, and the things you used to do, like put my food in the plastic storage dish and throw it in the microwave and heat it up.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, ew, now look at it. So, but where did I read somewhere that they said just in bits of plastic, like over the month, we consume enough to make a credit card out? I'm like, can you? Yuck. Just yuck, and all the damage it's doing
In the gut. Yep.
in the gut. Yeah.
It gets stuck right there. Like, yep.
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 Yeah. Yep.
So when I work with people in stress, I would say that I offer Reiki sessions because that helps to soothe and calm.
I'm thinking tonight is just not the good night to do this. We'll make it through this one way or another.
That's so funny. So what I was saying was what I do, I help people with Reiki energy when we're talking about helping them with the physical experience that they're having with stress, because once you get the body calm and soothed and relaxed, you can then move forward. Like if it's all contracted, it's hard to step into other forms of techniques or tools. So even to meditate, you have to first be relaxed. So that's what I do. I help people with Reiki energy, and I love to teach it as well so that people can do that on themselves when they're stressed, or preparing themselves if they know there's a stressful situation coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. So, wow, we got you here. Can you let everybody kind of know where they could find you And then when we get done in the comments, put in your information, contact information too.
I will. Thank you. So my website is indigohealingspdx.com. And here on Facebook too, I do a lot just on my personal profile page. So if you go to Darlene Sochin, you can see the work I do. And on Instagram, I am Darlene Energy Detective.
Ooh.
And there's a Linktree Darlene Energy Detective. And I have some, information about the Reiki training I do for people and for animals. I'm going to be offering more animal Reiki trainings. And yeah, so I will put those links below. And yeah, reach out. I'm on Facebook mostly over all the other platforms. This is where I started and where I'm connected to the most of my peoples. So
yeah, I was gonna say this is where I tend to hang the most. Hey, chum.
hi, puppy.
I'm sitting here panting away again.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Kim. I appreciate the conversation.
I appreciate you coming on here. I love bringing whatever we need to deal with midlife stuff because there's just so much.
There is. And it's one of those things we can't run away from. It's going to happen. And the alternative isn't so great, right?
No.
Yeah. And even if people I've had clients say to me, but I had a hysterectomy, you're still going to go through menopause.
Yes.
The hormones are still going to be fluctuating and so.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I say. It doesn't matter who you identify as. If you have ovaries, you're going to go through it. So.
And men do too. I've come across men going through that midlife. I think it's just every what, 25 years or so. It seems normal that we would start to look at our lives and is this where I want to be? Is this what I want to be doing? And if it isn't, the stress level might go up because we're like, oh shit, we're 50 now and what have we done? And do we have time to do anything else? So men and women. I do work with men and women, and I know a lot of people online in the work in our fields that we're in, energy and healing. I work with men and women and animals, of course.
Right. Yeah.
So we're all going through it. We all go through change and stress. And so I like to be able to support people with the tools I've learned over the last 20 years doing my work. Because having experienced total upheaval and, we've all had so many, especially the last 5 years, we've all been through so much. And on top of that, some of us have had extra family stuff and, yep. So I just love to share with everybody who's interested in learning about how to help alleviate stress in a healthy way.
Yeah. Because if not, it's going to take us out.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody else, y'all have a great week. Like I said, if you didn't catch my little bit of a live earlier, I said, if y'all have anything you want to know more about, please let me know. So, I think we're all set here. Thank you for joining us. And everybody else, y'all have a great
Thank you.